Hello, Phil Swann here again with another episode of Together, where we look at good mental health, well-being, and the Christian hope. The other day I was driving through the town here, and very sadly I was on my way to a meeting, and I noticed a young woman at the side of the road. She was obviously in some degree of distress. In fact, she was more than at the side of the road. She was in the middle of the road. Her shopping was all spread out in the road. She didn't really care about it. She dropped a bag, the stuff had come out. And it was very clear quite quickly that she was probably in a state of hallucinating or something like that, as I would guess it would seem pretty clear as a result of taking some drugs. She was in a pitiful state. It really was quite tragic. And as I drove past, my heart went out to her, to think what has gone on in her life that she needs to take refuge in such a destructive thing that is in the end causing her to behave in a way that is demeaning to herself and lacking really in a sense of self-worth and dignity. At the end of the day, that's somebody's daughter. And it's so easy, isn't it, when you see things like this, to write people off. It's interesting that you may ask the question of what we do, why we do these Together videos. You know, the answer is we do them because we care. We care. And we care because we believe God cares. And that question, this could be somebody's daughter, equally applied to this could be somebody's son who's going through a tough time and a difficult time. You see, when people are going through difficult times, as maybe you are, it is so easy for people to write you off. And it's so easy for you to write yourself off. And to come to some sort of conclusion that I'm worthless and that nobody's interested in me. Instead, I'm just a waste of space. Now, one of the wonderful things about the Bible is the way it addresses us as human beings. That irrespective of the condition that we're in, or the situation and circumstances which we're experiencing, its great message is that we've been made in the image and likeness of God. That doesn't mean physically we look like him, but we have been endowed as human beings with something that is unique to us as human beings, and that is to do with our connection with the God who has made us. We have been made in the image of God. And one of the big messages of the Bible is that people matter. People matter. It's a lovely story told of Jesus going into the great city of Jericho. And there's a beggar, his name was Bartimaeus. And he's calling out for Jesus to come to him because he's probably heard that Jesus has been healing blind people. But there are crowds going out to see Jesus. And it's busy. There are people everywhere. And the assumption is that Jesus won't really be bothered with a man like this. And yet he is. Despite the great and the good in Jericho, it is Bartimaeus who he goes out to. Christ cares about people, and so we should care about people. We should care for one another as we face difficulties, and there should always be that measure of respect. You see, one of the great things the Bible tells us or presents us with in terms of our understanding of ourselves as human beings is dignity. We're not just another creature, not just another animal, but we have dignity because we've been made in the image and likeness of God. And that dignity is essential to our understanding of ourselves. Whether we're a king sat on a throne with millions and millions of the world watching us, or whether we're a poor, tragic case of a young woman whose life has clearly been touched by despair and is finding refuge in drugs, and is making a real scene, there is still dignity. We're made in the image and likeness of God. And being made in the image and likeness of God, we're also, the Bible makes clear, is that we've been designed for relationship with God. That's the great thing about being a human being. It isn't just that we've got a bigger brain than other creatures, or that somehow we're able to communicate and use language in the way in which other creatures can't. No, ultimately it means we've been designed for relationship with God. And it's there that we find our ultimate fulfillment. It's there in our relationship with God that we actually find the ultimate dignity of what it means to be a fully rounded human being. It's only in relationship with God that real wholeness is found. How do we find that relationship with God? Well, the Bible couldn't be clearer. It's found in one place, and that is in Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who came into our world, not to serve himself, but to serve us. And the great way he served us was by dying on the cross, dealing with the issue of our sinfulness, and rising from the dead that we might have life. How may we know God? It is by putting our faith and our trust in Jesus Christ. So today you might say, I don't think I'm of any worth. I don't really have any self-dignity, let alone think people have a dignified approach to me. In fact, you may be saying today, I feel pretty low and pretty lousy. Well, there is one who cares and one who understands and has died for a sinner like you and has been raised from the dead that you might have life if you will trust him today. Put your faith in Jesus Christ, using your own words, in your own time. Look away from yourself, open your heart to him and trust him, and you will find wholeness and dignity in Jesus Christ. I'll finish with this, an amazing story once told of Jesus meeting a man who was under the influence of evil in a way in which I'm sure you and I would never experience, and I hope before God we never will. But the amazing thing is that after dealing with this man, we simply read in the gospel account that he was clothed and in his right mind. He received dignity by coming to Christ. As one of the wonderful things, coming to Christ, we receive his forgiveness and his love and our rightful place as a member, as a child of his family. Well, may God bless you. We trust these Together videos are helpful. We look at all sorts of things here, which if you've been following us for a while, by now you know. But we hope above everything else that what we talk about here points you in that direction of faith and trust and comfort in Jesus Christ. If you found this helpful, like and share it on social media, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. God bless you.